The following is a presentation of TNT Sports.
What began with 16 is now down to 4. It's the conference finals on TNT. Cleveland's Brad Daugherty, a playoff force, 24 points, 10 boards a night. The Cavs 63-25 since the return of Mark Price. Those two led Cleveland's 7-game triumph over the Celtics. And now they meet the world champs, winners of a grueling 7-game duel with the Knicks. Michael Jordan's one-of-a-kind brilliance has lit the Bulls' path, and it was the shot by Jordan that is remembered from Chicago's last playoff meeting with Cleveland.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go, puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago.
In the West, Utah's first conference final appearance is the handiwork of Karl Malone and the guy who delivers to the mailman, John Stockton. Struggling past the Clippers in 5 and making quick work of the Sonics, Utah has run into that Pacific Division buzzsaw known as the Portland Trail Blazers. The stellar backcourt of Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter has been at its game-breaking best. Game 1, no contest. The Blazers going full throttle to a 25-point win. Tonight, the title chase continues. It's the conference finals on TNT. All right, 4 teams, one giant step away from a shot at the NBA crown. Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta as we crank up the conference finals with a doubleheader on TNT. Cavs and Bulls game 1 from Chicago, Bob Neal and Hubie Brown. Then game 2 of the Jazz Blazers from Portland, Ron Thulin and Doug Collins will call it. Here in the studio, he's back, Dick Versace. And I want to know what's going to happen in the Chicago-Cleveland series with Michael Jordan and how Lenny Wilkins is going to defense the game.
Well, it's interesting that you should bring that up because I just got off the phone with Chuck Daly. And when I was in Detroit, we got together and we put together the Jordan rules. And they lasted for a while. They don't work anymore. But Lenny Wilkins has a penchant, as Chuck pointed out, to always play Michael Jordan. One guy, and that guy usually is Craig Ehlo. I honestly believe, Lenny, get some Jordan rules or something because it ain't going to work.
That is game 1 of our doubleheader. Game 2, Utah and Portland. Blazers blew them out in game 1. Is that an aberration or is that the way this series is going to go?
It's definitely whatever it is that you said.
I think it is too.
It's an aberration because they only had 36 hours. 36 hours is not enough to get ready. Jerry Sloan knew that. He wasn't happy about it. It was a television decision. And you look at the minutes of the game and you see Karl Malone, 29 minutes, John Stockton, 27 minutes. Those aren't the kind of minutes that Jerry Sloan plays when he's going for the wins.
Quickly, Michael Jordan, MVP. Was there ever any question in your mind on that?
I think we all should be thankful that we, in this period of our lives, are alive and we get to see this. We get to be involved with it. You maybe get to interview him because what we will do someday, Ernie, is we will look back and we will say, we were intrinsically involved with the greatest player that ever played this game.
Yeah, we were involved in whatever way you said we were. Michael Jordan will be honored in pregame ceremonies at Chicago Stadium. You'll see that in just a couple of minutes. Then it's the Cavs and Bulls, followed by the Jazz and Blazers, a Tuesday night double dip on TNT.
Along with Hubie Brown, this is Bob Neal. Welcome to Chicago, Illinois. The view from the lakefront of the beautiful skyline and now the madhouse on Madison Street, where the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Chicago Bulls enter into game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Cavaliers got here by beating New Jersey in 4. They were extended by Boston to 7 games. The Bulls swept through Miami, had a tough series with the New York Knicks, but now the two arguably best teams in the East are meeting for the Eastern Conference Championship Series. However, in the regular season, Chicago won 3-2 in the matchups between the clubs. What can Cleveland do if they are to derail the Bulls' championship train?
Well, the first thing you must do, Bob, is take care of the basketball in the backcourt. You cannot force the turnover and then have them going in for layups. The second thing is once you cross half court, Cleveland, one of the premier shooting teams that we have in the league, you must establish an inside game with Daugherty and Nance. Get to the foul line, because if you shoot a high percentage and you get to the foul line, they cannot get out in the open floor. Anytime that you establish strong suits inside, that opens up your three-point shooting. Cleveland, one of the best that we have. Shoot a high percentage and then get some offensive rebounds. Try to keep them out of the open floor.
Now the Chicago Bulls throw Michael Jordan at Cleveland like no other team. In 10 playoff games, Jordan has averaged 42 points per game versus the Cavs. How will they contain him?
Well, the one thing is you cannot contain Michael. At this time of the year, he's playing 42 minutes a game. He's averaging 26 shots. He's getting to the foul line 10 chances a game. So with those kind of numbers going for you, you know he's got 35 before we open up. Now, Ehlo must keep him out of the lane so that Nance and Williams do not have to go to him the trap, because that will weaken the defensive rebounding of Cleveland.
Now, speaking of Nance and Williams, you add Sanders to that group and put them versus Chicago's Pippen and Grant, and you got to really say that that's where the battle may or may not be won or lost.
Yeah, I would be surprised if Daugherty and Price and Jordan do not get their points. I think that's a given in the series. Where you must win the game is at the 2 forward slots. And by that I mean keep your opponent off the offensive board. You got to get back in there, not just shot blocking now. We're talking about good body on body, and so that you rebound at one end of the floor. And then, just like New York did, take Pippen and Grant out of the scoring, and Cleveland got a pretty good shot.
We got a couple of very athletic teams here, both capable of scoring around 105, 110 points a game. So this should be an exciting offensive show, despite the fact that the Bulls are one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. We were talking about Michael Jordan. Well, you hear the applause here at the stadium. Michael Jordan has been named for the 3rd time the league MVP, and he's going to receive his award here in his hometown stadium. And let's go now to the public address announcer, Ray Clay.
At this time, please direct your attention to center court, where NBA Commissioner David Stern will present the 1992 Edge NBA Most Valuable Player of the Year Award.
Michael, the world's basketball fans join me in congratulating you, not on just a great performance this year, but on consistent greatness. 3 MVPs, 6 straight scoring titles. You are simply the standard by which basketball excellence is measured. Congratulations. I'm going to ask Chuck Daugherty, the business vice president of S.C. Johnson and Company, to award the trophy.
Thank you, David. When it comes to talking about the MVP, the Chicago Bulls fans know their man has the edge. For the 2nd consecutive year, and for the 3rd time in 4 years, it's my pleasure to present the Edge NBA Most Valuable Player Award to Michael Jordan. Michael, congratulations.
Congratulations, Michael, and thank you, Commissioner Stern, Chuck Goldway, and Ed Shapia.
Bob Neal and Hubie Brown with you from Chicago Stadium, 1800 West Madison Street, where the defending world champions take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first game of the Eastern Conference Championship Series. Here are the Jeep Eagle matchups.
Yeah, we like that Nance on Grant, and also tonight Nance has the added responsibility of moving over to Pippen when Williams comes in the game. He'll pick up Grant. Daugherty, Cartwright playing with a bone spur problem in his left knee.
Ehlo and Jordan, of course, Ehlo at 6'7" is big enough to keep Jordan from posting up effectively, but Jordan did score his entire career high against Cleveland in Cleveland a couple of years ago at 69 when Ehlo was playing him. So he has had great success against the Cavaliers. Mark Price is playing his best basketball of his career coming into this game, not only in shooting but in running this Cleveland Cavaliers team. Mike Mathis, Paul Mahalik, and Jack Nees are our officials tonight. as we're ready for the Eastern Conference Finals. The Bulls with 67 wins, and the Cavaliers are not chopped liver either. They had 57. That ties with Portland for the second best record in the NBA. They're going to jump it up again. 18,800 here, standing room only. 238th consecutive sellout at Chicago Stadium. Nance will jump it at center with Bill Cartwright. Bulls have been averaging 99.9 points per game during the playoffs this year. Of course, that's because they were playing the very defensive-minded New York Knicks in that 7-game series. Mark Price looking for room on the baseline.
Cleveland very disciplined. They love to run pick and roll whenever things break down.
4 to shoot. Nance has to launch a long one. The defensive board to the Bulls, and Jordan handling it.
Chicago extremely methodical. They run the triangle offense. When they swing the ball back to the top, you must always be prepared for people either coming off of baseline screens or posting up.
Mark Price saves it for the Cavaliers. Neither team able to score on their first possession. Opening moments from Chicago Stadium. Ehlo defended by Jordan.
You have to go down inside and not allow Cartwright to buffalo Daugherty out of early shot attempts.
Daugherty backing Cartwright and the jump hook goes, and Cleveland scores first.
It's so great to watch his improvement through the years. You know, you see his satisfaction in his game. He plays with so much confidence now because the hook is almost automatic.
Nice. Talk about stopping Jordan from penetrating. When Jordan penetrates, he does that. He also came away limping a little bit. Michael Jordan came gimpy out of the middle there as the game is tied. Looks like he's having trouble moving around.
He definitely is. He's smarting here. He's jumping up and down on his leg right now in the lane.
Nance over Grant. 4-2 Cleveland.
In the early going, Cleveland has the opportunity to get down in there and get the one-on-one. Chicago holding back. No double team so far. Nice.
Pippen from Grant, but he stepped out of bounds. Waved the basket away.
Well, Cleveland loves to bump you behind the backboard anytime that you cut from the corners. And they have a lot of savvy about that.
Price penetrating as he does so well. And the first foul called against the Chicago Bulls. It'll be on John Paxson.
Yeah, Paxson and Armstrong, they have their hands full with Mark Price. Mark Price is extremely quick coming up the floor. He has the green light to take you anytime off the dribble. I asked Paxson what he was going to do about it. He said, I'm going to try to pick up, you know, over half court. But he says you must be extremely careful with Price because he will just blow right by you.
In that Boston series, I thought it was interesting as they were describing Price. They said if you don't pick him up, he'll take it all the way in. If you stop him short, he hits the 18-footer. And if you don't stop him there, he hits the three-pointer. If you don't stop him there, he dishes it off to somebody.
Well, he just made his 113th out of 120 playoff foul shots. He's at 95%. Not bad.
Cartwright in the paint. 6-4 Cavaliers.
They'll go into Cartwright and get him going. That was his own collision that time. Price bumped into their own people.
Jordan got away with the travel. Hit Paxson for the jump shot. It's tied at 6.
See, Lenny wants a 20-second right now. He wants to calm things down. He's not happy with what's happening as they're blowing up the floor. And you can see it. His pet peeve is turnovers from top of the circle to top of the circle. And especially in a series versus Chicago, because that immediately puts him, you see right here, see he bumps into his own man Sanders. Now the problem is they are so quick in getting out. Whether it's Pippen, Jordan, Paxson, they run right at you hard, and then this guy is the spot-up man. He's the luxury that they have in their pocket. They do not need 3 guys to finish the break. Let Paxson run over to the free area, hit him for the open J.
2.5 minutes gone in the first quarter, tied at 6. Paxson on Price, Jordan on Ehlo. Grant playing Larry Nance down the baseline. 10 to shoot. On Grant. Cleveland has to shoot well in order to have a chance with these Bulls.
You have to shoot well, Bob. And if you're not going to, you must get to the offensive boards and get anywhere from 12 to 15 second shots.
There's Price with that drive, and Grant ripped it out of his arms. They're going to jump it up.
Yeah, that's a tough play. And you see Price here right now. Well, watch as he gets down in here. See, he's so quick in changing direction. See, he gets grabbed right there. Now, okay, you say, well, he didn't have him. He had him right across the wrist.
Lob to Pippen, too far under, hit the stanchion. Nice play back to Michael.
See, that's what you do not want to see. The forwards out for the long passes, because as the game wears on, that will be a layup.
Nance got in the way of Jordan. They have to dish down to Pippen on the baseline. Scottie Pippen has his first basket of the game, and all the Bulls starters except for Michael Jordan have scored.
He's causing havoc, Bob, by getting into the paint. They're coming right at him, and then it's a 2-on-1 underneath the basket.
Daugherty isolated against Cartwright.
Cartwright working on keeping him out, using his hands.
There's that jump hook, 2 in a row from the same spot.
It's beautiful, isn't it? He's taking it in, favoring the lane, and then stepping away.
A foul on Sanders.
I'd like to show you the movement on the baseline. See, once Michael comes inside, see, he's trapped. Now, watch on the baseline. See, that opened up Scottie Pippen, who's just coming in here now, all by himself. Pick and roll.
Cartwright had a chance to take it inside with a beautiful move and a left-handed short hook.
See, that's smart. See, I asked Billy, what's the problem with the knee? And he said it really bothers him when he elevates on the jump shot.
Nance.
See, they're not even close to a second shot yet, Bob. The shots are going up. They're not hitting any jump shots. They're getting good activity off the dribble, but we have not seen them compete yet for a second shot.
Paxson lost Price, and now they've got the mismatch inside the Cartwright.
Now, you think about their offense. Cartwright and Paxson only get 6 shots a game. They're like the forgotten people out here.
Bulls on a 10-2 run, leading at 12-8, 7:15 to go in the first quarter.
Nice move. Billy put him behind the board.
And there's Jordan stepping into the passing lane, and the Bulls are running.
Nice pass.
Timeout, Cleveland. The Bulls by 6.
All right, we're going to show you a screen and roll right here. Now watch the Cavaliers trap the man as he comes over, but Cartwright will move to the free area. Now you're going to notice that Cleveland is not rotating anybody to pick up Cartwright. Now keep an eye on Daugherty right here. Daugherty thinks that Cartwright's going to roll inside, but he's not. He's outside. Now this is a smart move by Billy, because they want you to take the jump shot. But no, don't take the jumper if you feel you can beat him off the dribble. Take it right at him. Solid execution that time.
And the Bulls on a 12-2 run with 7:01 to go in the first quarter. The Bulls are 7 for 7 from the floor, except for Jordan, who's 0 for 2. There's been an assist on every one of those field goals.
See, but they're keeping them on long jump shots. The balls are rebounding out. No second shots. That puts Chicago in transition.
Mark Price having trouble. When he penetrates, he's getting trapped inside there from long range. Price with his first basket of the night.
You just cannot blink with him. You know, if you lose him for a second, he's gone.
Bulls have hit 6 shots in a row. Now Jordan's alone on the baseline. Now that's not exactly in your defensive game plan.
Well, what they're doing is they're running a double screen for Michael Jordan. They're setting a screen. Grant's coming over the top. Then Michael Jordan is popping back.
Oh, boy. Price has 6 consecutive jumpers.
Not only does he have 6, but he has the feel. You can see it. Anytime that you take a shot like that off, you know you're in a rhythm. He's got it right now. He's feeling good.
Paxson comes out from behind Pippen, and he drains his from the perimeter. Both of these teams shoot at a high percentage. Both are high octane.
Because of the excellent defense by the Bulls. See, they're trapping the pick and roll.
Nance is fouled as he drives on the baseline.
See, when you see that, Bob, I'm surprised that he didn't come up underneath the other side and, you know, slam it home. Now we're going to show you Price. Now he came off. Here's the one pick and roll. See, now they're going to go and they're going to trap that. And you see it. They're doing it every time that Price is isolating into a two-man game. See, Nance and Williams must play big tonight. They cannot go to the basket with anything soft. You've got to get down in there, two-hand dunks, and challenge the Bulls. They cannot, you throw up soft stuff with the Bulls will either reject it, put you on the foul line, and now you got to make your foul shots.
Price with 6, Daugherty and Nance with 4 each. Neither Sanders nor Ehlo have scored yet for the Cavaliers. They trail it by 4. The Bulls have hit 8 shots in a row.
There's a trap on the pick and roll again.
Sanders misses from 18. Jordan with the rebound. No offensive boards for the Cavs. Ahead to Grant.
See, that's inexcusable. See, the shots are going up. Every time they shoot the jumper and they miss it. You notice the rebounds are not landing in the paint. They're going long. That is to the advantage of the Bulls. They are taking off. Their forwards are quicker running the lanes.
Here's Daugherty trying to back in again. The double team comes over, and Sanders has him with 8 to shoot. We've got a hold on Cartwright.
See, to me, you must go in through Daugherty because Cartwright, they have not stopped him yet. It's going to force Chicago to double team Daugherty, and then you're going to get higher percentage shots than you're getting right now. They're straining on these jump shots. Now, this is going to force a substitution. Perdue's going to come in, and even then, Daugherty can work hard and work strong on Perdue.
So Perdue in for Cartwright with 2 personal fouls. John Williams into the ball game for Cleveland, and he really raises the level of play for the Cavaliers. They're at their strongest when he's on the floor. Paxson's been hounding Price pretty tough. Daugherty for 15. Jordan over Williams. The Bulls had hit 10 field goals in a row until that miss. Nice move inside past Michael Jordan, showing quickness for the big guy.
I tell you, he's terrific. He runs the only center in the league that really can run like him, I think, is Robinson, because he finishes it off with a lot of stuff. Now, you see, that was a tricky layup that he made right now. He didn't use the board. He dropped that one in pure.
7 to shoot for Chicago. Pippen left alone as Nance drops off him, and he drops the jumper, and Pippen has 4. All the Bulls starters have scored now.
Lenny, you just don't like what your forwards are giving you defensively right now.
Daugherty's answered the bell, that's for sure. He has 8 points. Chicago's shooting at 80%. They are 12 for 15 from the floor with 3:24 to go in the first quarter.
But you're only up 6. See, the Cavs are right there, and they're not playing extremely well. Nance and Williams have got to pick it up from a defensive standpoint here.
Jordan in the paint again. Kicks it to Pippen. He's open for the jumper. Rims it out. Williams to Ehlo. Pulls back quickly.
Look inside. They have Daugherty inside with Pippen on him. Daugherty should go right to the front.
Now the double team from Perdue.
Oh, my. That's weak. We're talking about the best passing center in the league. He thought he was fouled. So did his coach. You know, Brad Daugherty's looking at the baseline referee, Paul Mahalik, right now. Said, I got hit on that double team.
26-18 Bulls, 2:36 to go in the quarter. Jordan has 5 assists already.
Oh, boy. Are we seeing some perimeter shooting here or what?
Price has 8. Bulls by 6. Timeout, Chicago. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Draw in for John Paxson for the Chicago Bulls. We have 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Pippen will inbound for Chicago.
Now there's a big stat right now. If you're going to shoot the jump shots early in your offense, you're going to pay a price if you do not shoot a high percentage. And that is Chicago in the open floor.
10 to shoot for the Bulls.
Pick and roll.
Now Ehlo out on Pippen.
Good switch. Thing is now, you got to get your hand up. You can't play with your hands down.
You got that right.
Well, I mean, you can't be 6'11" and play a man who is a great shooter with your hands down. Put your hand up, you might buffalo him out of the shot and force him to put it on the floor.
Bulls by 8, minute 52 to go in the period. John Williams hasn't scored yet.
No blue shirts. No blue shirts around the rim. Yet we have not seen anyone contest for an offensive rebound.
Jordan. Now the double team comes. And the steal. Daugherty got that one. Look at Price ball handling.
Was that great?
Perdue with a foul on Daugherty.
Boy, did he maneuver that time. That's a great point guard in traffic, handling, maneuvering to set up the outside lane because he knew he had Daugherty ahead of him.
Daugherty, an 82% free throw shooter, goes to the line. Brad has 8 points along with Mark Price to lead Cleveland scoring. Neither Ehlo, Sanders, nor Williams have scored. Only 3 Cleveland players have been able to put it in the hoop so far. Yet, if Daugherty hits this free throw, Cleveland will be down only 6 points.
Shooting 55% from the floor throughout the playoffs to just emphasize of where he is right now. And you can just mix the 4 centers up and throw it out there. Elijah Ewing, Robinson, and Daugherty. Beautiful.
Grant hit Jordan, who was positioned in the lane. He is 4 of 6 from the floor. Is Michael. He has 8 points.
It sounds so easy when you say, well, what our game plan will be, we'll shade him out of the painted area.
Offensive foul on Daugherty, pushing Perdue away.
See, Michael is so quick. Now watch as he comes and meets this pass. Ehlo is trying to beat him to the spot. And all he did was just evade 2 people and take it right up in your face.
B.J. Armstrong lost Price on the dribble, missed the jumper. Bulls by 9. Not this time for Mark Price. Big rebound for Nance, who couldn't hold on to it. Foul on Nance.
Yeah. That was a foul. Michael popped him after the foul. The referees jumped right in there.
And the 2 of them connect the eyes to say, I'm all right if you're all right. So that battle is heated down for the moment. 30 seconds to go in the quarter.
Open floor.
Nance came in to get a piece of that one.
You got to get it out. See, anytime they go to that set, you have an advantage because they have 4 offensive players on the baseline. So if you can get the miss and kick it out, you should have an advantage. About 2 seconds difference in the shot clock and the quarter.
Price splits it. No look over to Ehlo, and Ehlo wasn't where Price thought he would be, and that's the turnover. 6 in the first quarter from Cleveland.
He was at that spot, but he moved on the penetration. He was trying to get himself into a favorite spot so he could shoot the 3.
8.8 seconds for the Bulls, who lead it by 9.
Right now, the 6 turnovers have really hurt the Cavs in this first quarter.
Pippen loses the dribble, then steals it. Back to Williams, who throws it into the expensive seats along the baseline. Bulls by 9 at the end of the first quarter from Chicago Stadium. The Bulls have a 9-point lead as we're ready to start the second quarter of play.
We would like to show you what's happening on this offensive board stuff. Now, this is Grant. Now, watch how quickly he changes ends. Now, if you're going to insist on shooting these perimeter shots, with plenty of time on the clock, then you must get on the board. If not, now it becomes athletes versus a slower front line. It's a stronger front line, power, but they're not quicker in the open floor. This is to the advantage, then, of Chicago.
Hodges missed the shot. It's, however, waved that basket away. It's Cleveland ball. Greg Hodges in the lineup along with B.J. Armstrong, Scottie Pippen, Scott Williams, and Will Perdue for Chicago.
See, this is it right here. No offensive rebounding, so Chicago's out. 6 turnovers. They're out on the turnovers. 10 Bull fast break points. That's the difference in your game right now.
Daugherty, Nance, and Williams up front for the Cavaliers with Kerr and Price in the backcourt. Lenny Wilkins wants to get Sanders into the game right here.
See, the Knicks pounded the offensive boards with Oakley, McDaniels, and Ewing, and that did not allow Chicago to get out. They kept them in the half-court offense. They kept the pace of the game slow. Now, we know that Cleveland wants to play up-tempo. Anytime that Chicago scores, they're going to run right back at Chicago. So Chicago has a different mindset for this series. You've got to get back and play good transition defense.
There was only 19 on the shot clock on that inbounds play by Cleveland. So now they haven't even started their half-court offense, and there's only 8 seconds on the shot clock.
You hate it when a big guy just gets over half-court and picks up.
Another turnover. That's 7. 3 on 2. Price right in the face of Pippen. Good transition defense for Cleveland.
Nice ball.
Hodges for 3.
And look up. With Kerr in there now, you have 2 3-point shooters in Kerr and in Price.
Williams looking for his first points of the game. Still doesn't have it. Bulls continue to lead by 9. Nobody scored since this quarter started. Just over a minute.
The Cavs have got to take advantage of the fact that Perdue is on Daugherty and get down inside and show some, power stuff. Stop all of this releasing in the jump shots.
Armstrong with the penetration. With 3 to shoot. Hodges from Scottie Pippen.
Kerr played that as well as you can. Always run at a 3-point shooter. Get him off the spot.
Now down to Daugherty against Perdue. Perdue got a piece of that.
Yes, he did.
Rebound Williams to Hodges. That was close to over and back.
You're just slicing him up.
Williams had to commit the foul.
You can see that the Bulls are just happy to be here. I mean, the change of atmosphere and the philosophy of the game is to their advantage now, because all of a sudden their forwards are so active. We're seeing them charging to the rim, getting there without ending up into the mezzanine. All right.
Scottie Pippen's feeling a whole lot better about this game than he was against the New York Knicks. He's glad Xavier McDaniel's on vacation. Pippen goes to the free throw line, has 6 points now. These are the first free throws by the Bulls in this game.
Scottie said that his ankle and his wrist are still bothering him from the Knicks series, but he sure came in Game 7. 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists for a triple-double.
Pippen has 7 points to go with his 5 assists, make it 8 points.
Whenever you play against the Bulls, you must be able to handle the backcourt pressure and trapping after foul shots. Get the ball up the court and get into your offense. Already we're down to 10 seconds.
Rookie Terrell Brandon at the point for Price. It's punched away by Armstrong. 7 to shoot. Sanders launches it and drops it over Perdue.
Now we can see that this backcourt trapping is hurting. That's why we brought it up. That's the first thing that you must handle when you play the Bulls, especially in this building.
Something the Bulls didn't do very frequently against New York, which surprised a lot of people, including me.
Nice hustle by Perdue. That's just 24 seconds. That's right. That was an air ball. Did not hit the rim.
And they reset the clock.
Both referees caught it.
So they'll make the adjustment. Nice tie on Phil Jackson. It's springtime in Chicago. 70 degrees and sunny in the city today. Wind chill factor of 33. They're going to reset it to 12 seconds. 9:37 to go in the half. And inbounded on the sideline. 11-point lead by the Bulls. That's their biggest of the game.
Now this unit out on the floor right now, you have Pippen is your main cog and the one that settles this offensive unit, and then Hodges is your perimeter guy. Williams and Perdue, one of them must give you something inside.
3 seconds to shoot. Armstrong throws up a prayer. It doesn't get answered. Perdue comes away with the ball. We've got a foul on Cleveland.
That was an excellent call by Mike Mathis. Will Perdue, Williams, and Pippen are out scrapping the front line of Williams, Daugherty, and Sanders.
9:19 to go in the first half. Bulls out to an 11-point lead. Let's have a look at the Western Conference headlines. The Jazz are going to try to even that series up tonight. Terry Porter was the man in game number 1. Karl Malone and Stockton had 17 points and 12 field goal attempts, and the Jazz will be playing in Portland. We'll have that on TNT with Ron Thulin and Doug Collins right after this game from Chicago. Cavaliers have Terrell, Brandon, Steve Kerr at the guards, and Daugherty, Sanders, and Nance up front. Bulls come back with Perdue, Scott Williams, Pippen, Craig Hodges, and B.J. Armstrong.
Now, this second unit did not get major minutes versus the New York Knicks because Pippen, Grant, and Michael Jordan averaged over 40 minutes a game in that series.
Cartwright went out with 2 fouls midway through the first quarter, and he's been resting ever since, and the Bulls have been playing well. Perdue with a nice pass to Scott Williams.
Anytime tonight that the teams have trapped the pick and roll, both teams have been able to make the next pass and then break you down by getting a layup or an open jump shot.
Bulls their biggest lead of 13 points, 8 to shoot for Cleveland. Kerr with 3 on the clock. He gets his own rebound. Perdue with a defensive board. He has 4 rebounds in limited time. The Bulls living in the lane. Saved by Perdue, but Kerr comes away with it. It's 3-on-2.
Again.
Cleveland really struggling. Brandon missed one from about 6 feet.
You have to see that when you're fast breaking. You're a guard. That's your job. Daugherty had a small man on him running in, and it was right in front of the basket. You know, you just don't take jump shots. You get it down inside.
Williams from Perdue.
If I'm on the coaching staff for Cleveland, I'm really upset. I'm upset at our shot selections. We're not recognizing where our strengths are here tonight, and especially against the second unit. And the second unit is making us look very weak defensively.
Brandon finally gets one to go down for the Cavaliers. His first points of the night. Wholesale substitutions coming up in a moment.
Well, Brandon played extremely well in the last 3 games of the Boston series. Stepped up and matched D. Brown head-to-head.
Pippen steps out from behind the screen. Rebound, John Williams. Here comes Terrell Brandon. Daugherty waits for the double team.
He discontinued. He dribbled, stopped, and dribbled again.
Sanders not a good perimeter shooter. Let's have to put up 2 or 3. Hodges to Pippen to Armstrong and the foul.
Right now, Cleveland still does not have an offensive rebound. Now, where are your guards? Where are you? See, your 2 guards got caught. And you notice Pippen is out on the break. It's always 3-on-2, 3-on-2, 2-on-1. If you're not going to rebound, where are you? We're going to show you what we mean by the triangle offense. There it is right now. This pass is going to come back to the top. Now, watch what happens. They're trying to flash to this elbow. Well, Cleveland is trying to deny this pass. So if the pass is denied, all Chicago do, all they are doing is coming off on a screen and roll. Now, just watch it. So nothing is happening. All right, here comes your... Now, Cleveland steps out and traps. That gives you numbers right there, 2-on-1 down inside. And every time that they have had a 2-on-1 situation, Chicago has made them pay the price by scoring.
There's the full court pressure and the trap in the backcourt, forcing the big men to handle the ball. Williams gets it across. Tried to take it to the hoop, but he's called for traveling. Another Cleveland turnover. That's number 8 on the turnover department.
Now, we keep bringing this up. See, surprising they didn't do this very much in the New York series. And when they did, New York, the guards brought it up the floor. What we're seeing tonight is that Chicago, they're taking away the guards in the backcourt. The big men are forced to handle the ball. Nothing is happening. Either a turnover or the shot clock is going so far off that they're ending up with bad shots.
8 to shoot. Scott Williams takes it into the paint, loses his dribble. Now 4. Jordan back into the game and firing. Michael has 10.
Right now we've played a quarter and a half. Cleveland, the #1 shot blocking team in the league, no shot blocks. Cleveland, no second shots.
And their 9th turnover. A nightmare developing here for the Cavaliers. Jordan into the paint again. Jordan with 12.
See, everything is so easy You know, it's so difficult when you're coaching. You're in the finals. You think that you can beat this ball club. You're very, very confident. Your team is not only a step slow, but they can't pass the basketball. They're totally out of sync. And then your defensive strength is your shot blocking, and you are nowhere near disrupting the Bulls in their offense.
Extra effort from Nance for the hoop for the Cavaliers. The Bulls lead this by 18 points with 5:21 to go in the half. Michael Jordan having his way. He leads all scorers with 12. And a rare appearance by Stacey King. Has not played much in the playoffs. Price will go for 3. Rebound Livingston. Still no offensive boards. The first offensive boards of the game came on those missed shots by Nance just moments ago.
Chicago getting away by playing the second unit for so many minutes here.
There's a shot block from Nance off the shot attempt by Stacey King. Paxson about to come back in along with Horace Grant for Chicago. Illegal defense called against the Bulls.
Now, we've seen this Cleveland team play so well in the Boston series and New Jersey. And you know that they have such a slicing game, a pick and roll game, a power game. We're not seeing any of that tonight. What we're seeing is a team standing 15 to 20 feet out and being contented with that. Now we have Mike Sanders playing Michael Jordan here. You notice the high screen for the pick and roll. Michael just taking his time because he wants to get down into this area. See, he's feeling it now. Now's the time for him to start putting some numbers on the board. First quarter, he spread out all the assists.
And look at what he's done against the Cavaliers. 6 career games of 50-plus, 18 of 40-plus, has never scored beneath 30. And I was televising the game last year when he scored 69. That's his career high against Cleveland at Cleveland. Tonight, 12 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds for Michael Jordan.
Cleveland's got to put together here 4.5 minutes. They've got to get down inside and make some things happen. They're running dry too many times.
Mark Price from the perimeter, 4 of 3, and that cuts into the lead. Bulls by 15.
When you're in a game like this, you know, it takes a real good discipline for you to understand that you must stay with Ehlo and Price because they're three-point shooters. You cannot get lackadaisical and allow them to make 2 or 3 before this half ends.
Grant is left alone for the jump shot.
Anyone that wearing a white shirt who wants to take a jump shot may so, because they are not doing everything but hitting the bottom of the net. They're not even touching rim.
Compared to the body blows taken from the New York Knicks, it's as though nobody's defending the Bulls in this series. Williams tough inside. The Bulls were all over it, but he lays it in anyway. And John Williams gets his first basket of the game.
John Williams ran the Kevin McHale move because Kevin McHale did it to him at least 4 times a game. He said, I'm going to use the move in this series.
John Williams at 6'10", 6'11", big guy in the middle and an excellent player. He really makes this team strongest because he's on. This combination may be the best combination for the Cavaliers, and Michael nails the 3. He has 15.
He's just floating around here tonight. You know, first quarter was dedicated to passing and setting everyone else up and running the offense, doing some nice things defensively.
And now Michael has hit his last 5 shots in a row. Daugherty will go to the free throw line. Here's the McHale impersonation.
Yeah, this is a nice move. Watch how he fakes up. He fakes up, gets the people there, steps underneath, takes it strong to the basket. They just cannot allow Daugherty to be wolfed off the spot by Stacey King. I mean, come on. Stacey King isn't going to stop Daugherty down inside.
Price has 13. 16-point Bulls lead, 2:43 to go in the half. Jordan left alone momentarily, then Ehlo into him. Now the foul on Ehlo. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Hubie and I will be selecting the Budweiser Player of the Game. Michael Jordan was named Player of the Year in the NBA with the MVP award presented here just prior to tonight's basketball game.
And he wants it down inside. Nice
pass to Livingston. Rebound Daugherty. inside for the lead. Looking for Brad Daugherty, not finding him. Nance comes off the curl, hits the 16-footer. Larry Nance has 8. Not much happening inside for the Cavs when they have the ball. Jordan with the penetration.
See, that time, Williams was standing out of bounds. The ball did not bounce out of bounds yet until it came off of Williams. So even though this, it looked like, well, that ball was out that should belong to Cleveland, not so, because the ball touched him first before it hit the floor outside of the lane.
Chicago ball with 1:56 to go in the half, leading by 14.
Michael is going wherever he wants to go tonight.
A rare miss in the lane. Looking for Daugherty against Stacey King.
See, he keeps catching the ball off the lane. See, it's taking too much time out of his game.
Ehlo misses the 3. Rebound Pippen. Uninspired performance from the Cleveland Cavaliers thus far in this Eastern Conference Championship Series. Chance to cut the lead to 14 to 12.
And here, I mean, it isn't like it's all over. I mean, they have plenty of time, but they've got to start playing big.
Great Chicago defense. Nothing new. Mark Price, the only one who's been able to score consistently, has 15 points.
That running shot where he just, the old timers used to shoot that in the 30 and the 40s, where they can run it into the lane and just throw that push shot. He has that down pat, and he keeps the defensive player away from him because the other leg is out in front, and they just do not want to catch one and adjust.
Here's a good look at it. Mark Price with 15 in this game.
He stops so quickly. You know that he's gutsy and he'll take it all the way. But that one right there, the lead knee is out in front of him. So that if you want to block that one, you've got to watch your chest area.
Coming up at halftime, the Prudential Halftime Report. Ernie Johnson in our studios is joined by Dick Versace. They'll also have a preview of the Jazz Blazers game number 2. Prudential Halftime Report coming along shortly. Cleveland on a 6-0 run here. They've cut this Bulls lead, which at one time was 20 points, down to 12 with 54 seconds to go until halftime.
That's a good move. Chicago's just got to regroup here and start paying attention.
8 to shoot.
I see that can't be. Okay, that's Scottie Pippen. That shot clock is down. The ball was just passed 25 feet to the other side of the floor, and they did not have a blue shirt anywhere near Scottie Pippen.
Quick move by Daugherty and the reverse jam. It's a 12-point Bulls lead, 27 seconds.
Wow, that is there all night long. There is no way that King or Perdue can play Daugherty down inside, but you must give him the basketball in an area where he can use his best moves.
He's been getting the entry pass way off the block. 5 to shoot.
Price just got taken down on a baseline screen.
Offensive foul with 8.2 to go. Cleveland has a chance to cut this Bulls lead to 10.
Well, look, you're happy if you're Lenny Wilkins. Come on, if you can get it down to 10, go down only 10 at halftime. This was a disastrous half for them.
Mark Price launches a long one. Rebound, tip back up. But no cigar at the half. Bulls by 12. They've held the Cavaliers to only 40 first half points.
Atlanta. Coming up next, the Prudential Halftime Report Playoff Edition. Dick Versace is our studio analyst. He'll work a little Telestrator magic as we take a look at the first half of the Cavs and Bulls. And we'll preview Game 2 of the Utah-Portland series. The Prudential Halftime Report next. They have played 24 minutes at Chicago Stadium. The Bulls 52-40 over the Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final here on TNT. I'm Ernie Johnson in Atlanta with the Prudential Halftime Report, joined by Dick Versace. These guys look frisky tonight. Nobody bumping into them every time they turn around.
Well, see, here's the problem. The Bulls just came out of World War II, okay? And Cleveland's playing defense like they're fighting the Battle of Grenada.
The man comes up with all
That's
of
what's
them.
happening. I can't help it.
We'll get in more in depth into this half with the Telestrator in just a few minutes. Let's talk about some of the news. Dan Issel is going to get the Nuggets job tomorrow, the head coaching job. Rudy Tomjanovich, word out of Houston tonight is that he will be hired on a full-time basis. He was the interim coach of the Rockets. Mike Fratello was up for that job. What gives?
Well, I think Mike has got other options, and I think we'll find out later. Everybody's wondering. But it's interesting to see a little trend right now. Randy Funn named in L.A., and now you see Rudy Tomjanovich, guys who've served their club well, and Dan Issel, who served the Denver Nuggets real well for a number of years as a player, now has an opportunity to maybe help them as a coach. So kind of a family affair.
Thank you very much. 52-40 is our halftime score. The Chicago Bulls with a 12-point lead. Game 2 of our doubleheader, the Utah Jazz and the Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers blew them out in Game 1. Let's get a preview of Game 2 from Doug Collins, who was at Memorial Coliseum. Doug.
Thank you, Ernie. I'm alongside Jerry Sloan here, my old Southern Illinois homeboy. And I know, Jerry, that you're hoping that 3 days getting away from this, that you guys are going to have a little more energy come to tonight.
Well, we certainly do, Doug. We gave our guys off Sunday. We went home after the game and on Saturday afternoon. So our guys seemed to be much better yesterday when we were with them, and they seemed to act like they were ready to play basketball again. After the game the other day, they just looked lifeless. They looked lifeless in the game, and we played that way. But you got to give Portland great credit. They're a terrific team. They're great athletes, and we'll have to do some kind of job to try to beat them tonight.
Now, I'm sure one of the things is John Stockton is going to have to stay a little bit more at home on Terry Porter. As I talked to you today, he got into a habit of roaming a little bit against Seattle and not have to respect the outside shooting so much of a Gary Payton, and Porter burned him. Is that something that you're going to really focus on tonight?
Well, we've got to be able to do that because John, he got caught the first couple plays of the ball game trying to help inside, and all of a sudden they run a pin down for him, and he was having a little bit of difficulty getting over that. Plus, our big guys have got to do a better job of trying to knock them out of their spot because if you allow those big guys to run around out there and set screens the way they did the other day, they get anybody open.
Well, pace of the game is so important for you guys tonight. Obviously, half-court execution, rebounding, but free throws. You've got to get to the free throw line, specifically Karl Malone.
Well, that's true, and I think when we get the ball on the defensive end, we've got to push the ball up the floor, too. We don't want to just totally walk it up because one of the things we've been pretty good throughout the year is that we've been able to go early inside, right off the break as we come down the floor, and we've got to do a better job of running the floor, and hopefully we can break them down just a little bit with once in a while an early offense.
You know, one last question. As I watch Chicago now play Cleveland, it looks like Cleveland is playing a very similar game that you did Game 1. You know, having trouble adjusting to a new team. I'm sure that tonight will be a new story for you.
Well, we certainly hope it is, but, you know, when you look back on it, we have those feelings, and coaches do have those feelings. That's what was happening in the game, but, you know, tonight's a different story, and we just hope that our guys really reach down and give us the kind of effort they've been able to do in tough situations before.
Well, Ernie, back to you. Jerry's done a terrific job. First trip to the Western Conference Finals for the Utah Jazz.
Thank you very much, Doug Collins and Jerry Sloan, the Southern Illinois homeboys, as they say. How do you look at that series Game 2 tonight?
Well, you will not see Karl Malone, as in Game 1, play 29 minutes, and you will not see John Stockton play 27 minutes. I look for about 45 apiece out of those two, and they're going to go for the split.
That is Game 2 of our doubleheader. When the Prudential halftime report continues, Van Gogh had canvas, Versace has the Telestrator. It's no overstatement. It really isn't. We'll be back in a minute. Stadium as the Prudential halftime report continues. Ernie Johnson and Dick Versace back in our Atlanta studios. We talked before the game about what Cleveland has to do defensively against Michael Jordan, and we talked about Craig Ehlo, give him a cigarette and a blindfold and say, guard Michael. I mean, this is not an easy assignment here, Dick.
No, it's not an easy assignment because Chicago is adding some new wrinkles, which complicates matters. So let's take a look.
You got it.
See, normally what will happen is you're going to have a situation where the guard will make an entry pass here, cut through to here, the postman fills in here, and that's where you get your triangle. But now they're adding some new wrinkles. Notice that the guard cuts through and the center goes across and sets a real hard screen on Ehlo, forcing Ehlo to go low. Now, Price is no help. He's got to follow his man, and watch Michael just fill right in here. And when Mike gets in here, you're in big-time trouble because there's nobody better in the game of basketball in taking advantage of a confused defense, and that's what you got right there is a very confused defense. Now, on the other hand, you're going to see Mark Price out here. Mike Sanders will break up. They're looking for a little pass down inside. Watch the good defensive effort by Chicago as they all find the ball with their eyes. See, they're finding the ball with their eyes. And now Mike Sanders, bad choice, tries to throw the ball right down the middle here. And Stacey King has been playing a little beach volleyball this summer.
It paid off, baby.
Paid off big time. And now here's another thing that Chicago is doing. They're letting Michael go down and get started right away. See, early pick and roll, let him just play and try to score in transition. There he is in that area again. Dangerous.
A couple of minutes to forget there for Mike Sanders, the bad pass and then trying to guard Michael Jordan, 52-40. What do you look for in the second half of that?
Well, I think, you got to look at the fact that they're only 12 down. I mean, they have had really a pitiful first half, and I think they're very nervous. They know they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think it's weighing heavily on them. They have a lot of talent. They have good shot blocking, but they've got to get out of Granada and get into World War II.
It is game 1 of the best-of-7 Eastern Conference Finals, and still to come tonight, we've got game 2 of our doubleheader, which is game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. The Utah Jazz and the Portland Trail Blazers live from Memorial Coliseum. And cap your Tuesday night the only way to cap it, inside the NBA with Fred Hickman later tonight.
The Bulls lead it by 12 at halftime here at Chicago Stadium. And Hubie and I were just talking. The fans here in Chicago Stadium feel somehow relieved now that that Knicks game is over, as though they just safely got off a ride on the New York subway. They survived, and now they're back in friendly confines of Grant Park.
No, they're out running. The fast break is operating. They're shooting 57%. At the other end of the floor, outside of Mark Price, the 3 guards are 1 for 6. And then Sanders and Williams are 2 for 8. They're getting the opportunities, the easy shots. Nothing is going down. And all we're seeing is Chicago at their strength, which is the open floor. And then when they get into the half-court offense, no one's challenging them. Cleveland is soft defensively. They have 1 shot block, and they're only down 12.
And they're not really getting the kind of balance, the Cavaliers, that they need. The big 3, Daugherty, Price, and Nance, are hitting it. But Ehlo, Sanders, Williams have not been able to fill in. Neither is Kerr and the other players who have come off the bench. And that's one of the reasons that Cleveland's been held to 21 and 19 points in their consecutive quarters. But the Bulls, as you said, are back in business now. They don't have that rough and tumble Knicks team, and they're getting it going like they've been all season long.
Yeah, the fast breaks are there because of the turnovers and the lack of offensive rebounding by Cleveland. And then Jordan and Pippen are out doing what they do best. And then the thing which was non-existent in the Knicks series, the Bulls bench, 9 points and 8 rebounds. And what you like to see, 4 assists. Now, what we'd like to show you is what we talk about. Here is playoff basketball. Now, just watch. There's the pick and roll. Now, what do we mean by spacing? What you're going to see over here is a triangle. That keeps the defensive players from helping in the lane. Now, if they should, now watch what happens. Here comes the pick and roll. They trap it semi. Now, as he comes in, they cut it off. Now, stop right there. Now, watch the triangle. There's Perdue. Here we go right here. Now, here's your triangle. So, by Cleveland getting all of their defensive players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in the lane, you can see that all you do now, because of your spacing, you rotate the basketball and you end up with something good. All right, something good for your ball club. Most important, a wide open shot.
Chicago Bulls' biggest lead was 20 points. Cavaliers cut it to 12 at halftime, and we're ready for the final 24 minutes. Mark Price had himself, as usual, an excellent first half, 15 points, leading Cleveland scorers. Daugherty with 11. And Hubie and I would agree with him, his opinion, that Daugherty could have had more if he had taken inside a little bit, had they gotten the ball to him.
Yeah, but that's the job of the people out on the top. They're supposed to see Stacey King playing behind them, not even trying to deny anything. So what you must do is bring the ball below the foul line, extended, so that you can make a high percentage pass into them.
Cartwright back in at center. He played only 7 minutes in the first half after he got 2 quick fouls, but Perdue and Scott Williams came in and played very well against Daugherty. Cartwright early. And he answers with the 2.
Billy's feeling nice in regards to his offense. He's 4 for 4 tonight. But like we said, the thing which is bothering him is a bone spur in that left knee. And he feels that he'll probably have to have an operation of some type this summer. Clear it out. He's already had that performed on his right knee.
I don't think Sanders even knew that Michael Jordan almost had that steal. Ehlo comes away with a loose ball. Nance will take it into the paint and goes up and under. Sanders with the offensive board and the putback. That's what Cleveland did not do successfully in the first half.
Yeah, and if they get in there and make things happen, then this could become a good game. But they must establish an inside game so Price and Ehlo can get into a rhythm on three-point shooting.
Jordan misses from long range. Nance with the defensive board. 7 boards for Nance in this game. Inside to Daugherty, quick turnaround jumper.
You just get the man the basketball. I mean, the man can do it. He's having a terrific night tonight. He's 6 for 8 from the floor, and you're not exhausting him. I mean, 8 shots. I mean, for an all-star center.
It's a 10-point game with 8 to shoot on the clock. Double team on Jordan. Pippen's open. Reversing to Paxson. Grant for the offensive board. New shot clock for the Bulls. Cartwright did his first miss of the night. Jordan from 20.
Grant and Pippen. When your assignment is Grant or Pippen, you have got to get to them and put a body on their chest. You cannot allow for them to sky and get on the glass.
Mark Price, that quick pull-up jumper doesn't go. Daugherty with the offensive board. Ehlo from long range. This is the 3. Nance with the offensive board. And Cleveland getting a better job done inside.
Nice. This is how we thought they would come out and play. They're already playing with more enthusiasm than they did in the entire first half.
Jordan into the paint. Sanders got a piece of that, but Jordan knocks it down anyway. Michael has 19. Remember, in 10 playoff games prior to this one, Michael Jordan has averaged 42 points a game versus Cleveland.
Ehlo's got to knock those down tonight because Michael Jordan is working hard defensively, but he must keep his concentration defensively.
Ehlo's 0 for 4. Grant turnaround jumper. Pippen with another board. See the job he's doing.
Well, Pippen is just going up over the top of Mike Sanders.
Michael's turnaround from 14 feet. Jordan with 21.
That's the 3rd one he's made tonight, and he makes it look so easy. He always fakes the same way. With his back to the basket, he fakes to his right and does the spin.
And Pippen has 8 assists. Daugherty is fouled on the hold as he spins. That's Cartwright's 3rd foul.
Cartwright's doing something tonight which he used to do early in his career, and that is play with his hands on the back of the man. Just watch how Michael goes down inside. That was a tough shot because Sanders definitely hit it. Sanders hit his head and said, how did he make it? Now this is the one. See how he fakes? And then he comes back off to pivot. And then he does that little fade so that even if you're with him, he fades and he shoots up over the top of your hands.
Lions back up by 14 with 8:28 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Nance missing. Cartwright rebounding. Inside to Grant from Michael Jordan. Nance gets the loose ball. He has 9 boards. Larry Nance was cleared out of there by the Bulls. Didn't get the call, and Chicago has the break going. Nobody on Pippen. But the Bulls not getting second shots now.
No, but the Bulls right now are running a lackadaisical break. There's no intensity. There's no zoom. They're not coming in there and saying, hey, I'm going strong to the hole. They're all happy now, satisfied with little jump shots.
5 seconds to shoot. Sanders with the ball. He's going to have to force it up over Pippen. That's a violation. Didn't hit the rim. The man you didn't want with the ball at that point in time with the shot clock running down is Sanders. Everybody else a better offensive player.
In the series this year, he's averaging, this coach just so exasperated. You want to scream. All right, Mike Sanders averaged 17 points against them this year. Chicago has done such a nice job of making them pay the price when one of the forwards steps up to help out on a guy in the lane. They get the dunk.
Nance against Horace Grant. Nice defense by Grant. Grant couldn't handle that break. Cartwright didn't get back down, so he'll be here to protect. Tough shot by Ehlo, won't fall. Cartwright with the board. And the foul by Larry Nance.
That was a smart move by Billy. All he did was stay and hold his area. And Ehlo was coming at such a bad angle that he forced him to take a low percentage shot.
Bulls back up by 16 points. Their biggest lead of the game was 20 after this third quarter started. Cleveland cut it to 10. Bulls get it back up there now with 6:41 to go. Ehlo 0 for 5. He was 0 for 9 and 1 for 9 in 2 different games against Boston. Big team.
They have not played that guy yet. They've been playing the two-man game, but the guy who has been hurting them is the third man in the triangle away, coming back to the top of the circle.
8-0 Chicago run, up by 18 points. Cleveland with 10 on the clock when they get their offense going here. Daugherty, turnaround jump shot on the baseline, and Brad has 15. Pippen off the break through the foul will go to the line. From John Paxson came that pass. He'll go against.
See, we have a saying in basketball that if you're not going to get on the offensive boards, get back. Now just watch this triangle move. Now as they play two-man on the side, watch Pippen come right up from the triangle to the top. Now this man has been open all night long because Cleveland is taking their defense, the old story, make the defense move one way and then bring it back to the other side of the field or to the court. They do the same thing in football. And when you make it move and commit itself, if you bring reversal action, you usually will get a high percentage move.
The Bulls by 17 with 5:59 to go in the third quarter. Here's a look at the Chevrolet scoreboard in Saturday's Game 1 of the West Finals. It was Portland easily over Utah, 113-88. They blew them out in the first half, 65-37. Utah will try to get back in it to some degree tonight at Portland. Ron Thulin, Doug Collins will have that game for you right after this one on TNT. Scottie Pippen goes to the free throw line, has 13 points so far tonight.
We're very happy that Johnny Bach, the popular assistant for the Bulls, is out of the hospital where he suffered a slight heart attack. He will not rejoin the team for at least 2 weeks. And we're wishing him our best. John's been around the game, was in the college game for many, many years at Fordham and Penn State for close to 35 years, and then had his fling in the NBA, was a head coach at Golden State, and has now been an outstanding assistant with the Bulls.
There's a nice give and go from Mark Price to Nance.
They've got to show us something defensively and also show the Bulls, by the way, if they're going to come back here tonight.
Soft so far tonight. Jordan on the double team on the baseline.
Nice look. What a beautiful look by Michael.
Offensive foul. Excuse me, it was a 3-second call.
And we're going to show you some nice passing. Here's a down screen for Price, and he sees that his man's behind him. And just by delivering the dribble that forced the defensive forward to come to him and open up the baseline.
Price with that penetration and the pull-up.
One thing Paxson is doing is not allowing him to get the three off. He runs at him very hard. Now, when you do that, you're opening up yourself that he will go by you. That's the problem with that. But they do not want them to shoot the threes and get back in this game.
17.6 assists for Price so far. Cartwright with the double team. 5 to shoot for Pippen. Now 3. Cartwright with 1, blocked by Nance.
Get it out here now. You have an advantage.
Williams doesn't get it to fall, but he draws the foul from Mark Price. Nice pass.
John Williams is such an athlete. He's 6'11", long stride, long arms. And you know, I'd like to know what his wingspan is. But he has the ability to take that long stride in filling the lanes. But he's got to develop how he wants to finish the break. He's got to finish the break stronger so that in a situation like that, he ends up with a 3-point play versus a 2-point play.
But this time in the games between the Knicks and the Bulls, there would have been about 40 free throws. So far tonight, Cleveland 6 of 7, Chicago 5 of 5.
Yeah, well, everyone's playing a little bit of tag. I mean, that's all. There are no forearms being delivered in this one. If you want to go to a spot tonight, you go there.
Nevertheless, the Bulls can't quite break open here. They lead by 12 with 4:25 to go in the quarter. Jordan with the penetration. Move didn't go.
Beautiful move by Michael.
Big pass from Price to Ehlo. Bulls got back beautifully. Nance has to hit the jumper.
You know, to end up with a jumper. You know, it's interesting. Here they are. They're right there. See, they're pesky. The thing that you can never do is think that they're totally dead because of their ability to shoot so well. But they have to start showing some defensive strength.
Bulls lead it by 10 with 4 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the third quarter. The NBA draft is just around the corner. The NBA's wall to wall, coast to coast. We got something going on all year long. This year, notice it's in Portland, Oregon on Wednesday, June 24th. Hubie Brown will join me and Doug Collins out there to cover the draft as we've done for the past several years. And then right after that, we'll have the telecast on TNT of the Tournament of the Americas. The first time you'll be able to see the NBA-stocked U.S. Olympic team in action in the Tournament of the Americas qualifying tournament for the Olympic Games. So Scottie Pippen, one of the members of that squad, along with number 23.
Phil Jackson calls the timeout, trying to wake his ball club up.
8 to shoot. Pippen blows by Daugherty. Nance came up to challenge the shot. Pippen comes back.
Now, Pippen just split 2 blue shirts to get that rebound and put the ball back up and in. Now, if Cleveland gets that when it comes down, you're dangerous because you'll be inside of 10. Plenty of time here now. You have 8 seconds.
Good entry pass to Williams. He couldn't hold it. Bulls come away with it.
Anytime we say plenty of time, there's a turnover.
Paxson with the pull-up is blocked by Nance.
Nice block.
That's 3 blocks by Nance in this game. He had 6 in game 1 of Cleveland, New Jersey at the beginning of the playoffs.
See, when you break the foul line area, it's so easy to feed the postman. Oh, he got banged on that one. See, Daugherty's looking at the baseline ref saying, come on, I got hit twice that time.
Bulls by 12, 2:50 to go, third quarter. Jordan with 21 points. Distributing the ball now. And Pippen. Nance has 11 rebounds to go with his 3 blocks. Nice pass from Price to Daugherty.
See, he finishes. He's got that running hook. He can stop, take it right in your face, or he will slam it down.
It's a 10-point game.
Now watch that. There's that guy again. He's all by himself.
23 for Jordan.
You and I both know when it's happening. Anytime they run the 2-man on the opposite side of the floor, the baseline guy in that double screen is coming up, and he's been wide open all game.
The Knicks took that away. Price, beautiful drive. It didn't fall. Price fell. Steal by Ehlo. Daugherty from Nance.
There's my guy.
A 10-point ball game.
Mother and father say no. He's our guy. But I'm just saying. See, he sends it down. He finishes. You notice? There's nothing shaky about Daugherty. If you're going to block the shot, you're going to pay a price.
19 points for Daugherty. 10 to shoot. Michael Jordan didn't get it to fall. Ehlo grabbed him about 20 feet away from the hoop out there.
Now that's discouraging. You double team him. He just looks at the double team like you're not even there. Well, now just watch this. Here's the double team. And he just goes, so now I'm taking it all the way to the hole.
Nance is called for the foul. And number 23 has 24. B.J. Armstrong in for John Paxson. The first half, the Bulls bench got excellent play from Perdue, Armstrong, Hodges, Williams. They all played significant minutes, including Livingston and King came up with 9 points, but they played very good defense, holding Cleveland only 19 points in the second quarter.
But now's the time, if Cleveland is going to make the run, that you make the run. Because you're keeping your starters out here right now. You must go after these people. Now, look, Grant and Pippen and Jordan are still out there, but when they come with the rest of the group.
It's hard to the hoop, and Larry has 16 points to go with his 11 boards, 3 block shots, and he's playing big tonight. The big three of Cleveland, Daugherty, Nance, and Price have played big. The supporting cast hasn't chipped in yet. Ehlo, nice defensive play. Chicago ball.
Well, that sure was, Bob, because that was a terrific pass by Michael. Now, Michael has really been trying to feed the people off the dribble. Every time he's in the painted area, he's been going pass first. Now, that could have been, that never could have been caught because Ehlo definitely deflected that.
5 to shoot. Gordon scoops it in the middle, didn't fall. Chicago foul, loose ball.
See, they're lucky. See, Billy Cartwright pushed off again. In this league, anytime that you use your hands in the lower back of a guy, they call fouls. If you just use a forearm where you're stronger, you can move the guy out and no one ever calls a foul.
That's 4 on Cartwright, so Perdue will check back in. Cartwright played only 7 minutes in the first half, Perdue 10. Will had 4 rebounds and 2 assists.
You know, in the 10 playoff games, the center position for Chicago is giving them 11 points and 11 rebounds. Not bad when you're not in the mainstream.
Nice pass into John Hot Rod Williams, who has only 6 points in this game.
Now, there you are. They're right there. Why? Because they're getting down inside. They're getting down in there. They're really hurting Chicago because everything is happening down in that painted area.
It's an 8-point game. Michael Jordan. Bad miss. Good rebound. Tipped out of there by Nance.
See, a second shot hurts them again. They have inside position. The ball came off. Chicago beats them to it, and then they end up with a foul.
And Nance has 4 fouls on him now.
That's big. Lenny's got to get him out here now so he doesn't get it cheap. This is a nice pass, and this is Williams finally sending something down strong.
Grant's first free throw this half. First points this half. So Nance has 4, Bill Cartwright has 4 for Chicago, and Sanders, who struggled in this ball game, checks back in. Sanders has only 4 points.
Now, the tough part about this is you become smaller. You have not been doing a good job on the boards. Sanders must start rebounding in order to help out here. This is good. This is good strategy.
Pippen with a foul before he crosses the timeline. 20.8 seconds remaining in the quarter.
But you did not want the foul. All right, we couldn't get it in the foul so fast. But usually when you're a player on the all-defensive team like Pippen is, he's thinking, wait a second, I'm on the all-defensive team. Am I supposed to get away with a bump and a hand check?
And a steal.
That's right.
Sanders with a very unorthodox free throw style is shooting 79% in the playoffs. Perdue will come out. Hodges will come in to make Chicago smaller and faster for this final 20.8 seconds. And Steve Kerr counters for Cleveland as he gets on the floor. Daugherty sits down.
Well, this is interesting because they're going very, very small. They're looking for a 3. They have the 3 best three-point shooters out there, Kerr, Price, and Ehlo. But you're saying at the other end that they're going to do the job defensively right now. They got to press all over, hoping to get, maybe knock it free. Because right now you're at their mercy if anything goes up on the glass.
They've got that open set called with Michael in the middle, and the Bulls spread and setting screens down away from the ball. 7 to shoot. Michael to Pippen. He's fouled by Sanders.
And that wasn't that nice? See, that was nice because Michael understood the whole situation. As soon as he blew by his man, which he's always going to do, they rotate up the track. That takes away the only big guy on the floor. And now he was looking for Pippen even earlier to get to the front of the rim.
Scottie Pippen has 16 points. Been averaging 18.5 during the playoffs. He struggled a great deal in the early part of the series with the New York Knicks. He had a sore ankle and a sore wrist, and frankly, Xavier McDaniel took him out of his game. McDaniel just played so big and so powerful against Pippen, but he's feeling much better now.
Well, you know, every year that he's been in the league, he's gone from 8 points to 14 to 17 to 17-8, and this year to 21. So he's made it not bad for a guy who was a 6'1" manager as a freshman in college and then grew to 6'7".
Bryce tried it at half court. Bulls have an 11-point lead at the end of 3/4 of play from Chicago Stadium, but the Cavaliers are hanging around. Defending world champion Chicago Bulls with an 11-point lead over the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've been led, as usual, by Michael Jordan with 25. He led them to 67 wins this year and now became one of only 7 players in the history of the NBA to win the most valuable player award 3 times or more.
It's just an outstanding honor, and all of the players on his team were so happy for him because they thought that he really had a difficult year this time. A lot of distractions away from the court in his life for the first time. Then he rose to the occasion to lead the team. And then this year he played 39 minutes and averaging 30 points. And then to have such a lopsided... Now, Drexler had a sensational year, and David Robinson, before his injury, definitely was contesting because he was up in there in 5 different categories. And who would, you know, we can't foresee what would have happened if he would have stayed healthy in that San Antonio deal and where they might have gone in the playoffs.
Williams on the pick and roll is fouled as he drives to the hoop, and once again Cleveland keeps taking it inside, and that's how they've cut the lead here from at one point a 20-point game to 11. Will Perdue picks up his 2nd personal.
Now this is the test for them, because if you're going to make your run, now you must do it. You're going against their 2nd unit except for Pippen, so you must take advantage. You have Price out there, Daugherty out there, so Lenny's shooting the works right here.
John Williams starting to put some numbers up now. He had only 2 points at the half. Now with 7.
He had a good defensive half in regards to 5 rebounds and doing a pretty good job on his man. But they needed him tonight to get some points.
Pippen penetrates, dishes to B.J. Armstrong.
There's so much distance between the shooter and the defensive man.
Price penetrates, gets it to Daugherty, is fouled by Scott Williams before Perdue blocked it.
You know, Price was caught that time. He thought Daugherty was moving up for that layup. And instead, Daugherty was just still standing on the same spot as Perdue left, you know, to double team. You always must move and create the passing lane and get to the rim.
Daugherty with 20 points in this game. He's been averaging 23.6 during the playoffs with 10.3 rebounds.
Nice, 13th in scoring this year, 21 a game, 13 in rebounds, and then 4th in field goal percentage. So he's got the total package right now. He's got it all going for himself.
Scott Williams, a little careless with the ball. Perdue comes up with the loose ball.
You've got to get after this group. Force some turnovers, some bad percentage shots, and then get out on the break. They need some easy scores.
4 seconds to shoot. Armstrong from long range.
Get it out.
Cleveland can cut it to 8 or better on this possession.
We have some 3-point shooters in the game right now.
Daugherty, tough move inside. He got Perdue back on his heels and then hits the 5-footer.
Cleared him out with that forearm, that left-hand forearm. Put him away.
Daugherty 10 of 13. It's an 8-point Bulls lead. 10:38 to go. Kerr with the foul. He holds Hodges.
If you're defensively, when the ball comes back to the top, you know that it's going to be 2-man. Now just watch Daugherty clear Perdue out here. Boom, there it is right there. Pushed back. Little acting job by Perdue. You never do that when a guy is hot. Here's your 2-man game. They defensed that man coming up here. You saw it. I see you shaking your head. Yes, they actually covered Hodges. They got the try. That's right. Pippen
hits it anyway. Nevertheless, Scottie Pippen has 20. it's a 10-point Bulls lead, but the Cavaliers just won't go away. They hang in here because they can score. Bad pass from Daugherty. Hodges got away with it.
Bad pass out is right, because that shot clock was down.
If that's Nance, it'll be the 5th foul. They may give it to Williams, though. Hold for a second. That could be a big call. Giving it to Williams. His 3rd.
That's the thing that you like about Pippen and Grant. They continue to run. When they're on the floor, they're running hard the entire time that they're out there, and they just break you down. It's a nice, beautiful release.
The Bulls lead it by 10. You hear this tremendous roar of approval here because Mike Mathis, a little red-faced, actually joined in the timeout entertainment and danced with one of the beautiful young ladies here in Chicago. Way to go, Mike. He's refereeing and dancing. All right.
Hodges came over and gave him a rating, you know, like Soul Train, you rate
like about a 7, maybe.
That's right.
9:56 to go. Cleveland hanging around, although there's no tension that they're going to explode and get back in this. Nevertheless, 10 points.
But see, when you're on the road and you're coaching down there, you're pleading with your guys. Come on, we can do it. We can steal this game. As poorly as we're playing, just pull together for 10 minutes. We need a perfect 10 minutes. But you're right. There's no suspense. You don't feel any intensity. You just say, oh, the Bulls will keep it at 8 to 10, 8 to 10.
Cleveland's big 3 of Daugherty, Nance, and Price have 56 of the 70 Cleveland points. Perdue is going to sit down, and Horace Grant checks in for Chicago.
Yeah, to touch on that little story on Scottie Pippen, by his junior year in college, he was the manager the first year. He was the high scorer of the team, but he had grown to 6'7". Then he became a small college All-American in his senior year.
Bulls now by 12. They haven't missed from the free throw line tonight. 13 of 13. Williams trying to drive on.
Oh, yes.
Counted on continuation.
Now, if I'm Williams, I'm complaining because it's Williams. That's right. Watch how he hooks him. Watch right here. Watch. See, hooks him right there. What? Plus, now not only does he hook him, but he gets a freebie, and it's a 3. Just watch that hook right there. And that's the advantage that sprung him from behind the rim in order to get off that bank shot.
And the Cavs have now cut the lead to 9 with 9:38 to go. Bulls in the open floor, however. Blocked by Williams. Terrell Brandon, the rookie from Oregon, in there now. At the point in place of Mark Price.
Bulls have got to be very careful right now.
Kerr with the penetration and the pitch out to Sanders, who hits it from the corner.
Maybe a little nervousness over there on that bench.
A 7-point Bulls lead. They've led by as many as 20 in this game.
Big thing is that Nance just got away with holding his shirt on Williams down inside. Even the guys behind us saw that.
They cut off Pippen's drive. Hodges likewise. He makes a nice pass to Armstrong, though. Look at Pippen.
What
save.
a heartbreak. What a heartbreak. See, Pippen is running roughshod on the offensive boards anytime that Sanders is matched up with him.
Pippen is fouled by Nance. And that'll be 5 on Larry Nance.
I was going to show you this shot. Now, this is a key play right here. You see? Williams goes after it soft. He's concerned about the guy he's got on his back. Pippen shoots the gap, and then what happens, which always happens, you pay a price because they eventually score.
.8:40 to go in the game. 82-75 Chicago. Pippen on the drive is fouled again. This time it's Terrell Brandon. Now Jordan back on the floor, so it's Grant, Williams, Jordan, Pippen, and Armstrong for Chicago. You talk about lightning fast.
See, with Scott Williams in there at the center position, he gives them a horse. He's an excellent rebounder. He's a tough defensive player. Phil Jackson played him in that finals last year against the Lakers. Not bad for a guy who joined the team as a free agent. You know, he received minutes before Will Perdue, and anytime Cartwright was in trouble. So you know, this young man came back here this year, contract, but he had a shoulder operation, and that's why he missed the first 2.5 months of the season.
Scottie Pippen knocks him down. He needs 1 assist and 2 rebounds for his second consecutive triple-double. He had a triple-double in that finale of the New York Knicks 7-game series.
You can't pick up your dribble that far out if you're going to run some continuity.
It'll be Cleveland ball with 8 seconds on the shot clock, along with Hubie Brown, Bob Neal from Chicago Stadium. Game 1, Eastern Conference Finals, and the Bulls have a 9-point lead. They led by as many as 20 points in this game.
Now, Lenny Wilkins was so confident of his guards, and outside of Price, none of them are scoring.
Well, Brandon couldn't get it, but he got his own offensive rebound.
If you're going to miss underneath the basket like that, then redirect the error and steal the ball, right? BJ's doing a nice job with him, so he's not letting him beat him off the dribble. See, the kick has got to be a deliberate kick. BJ Armstrong arguing that he did not kick it deliberately.
Mike Mathis explaining the call.
Because not only do you get the ball, but you get a full 24 seconds.
They're going to jump it up.
All right.
Now Lenny Wilkins wants a piece of this.
Now Lenny Wilkins is in there. You're glad that they're doing it, okay? Because it was an incorrect call.
This would be kind of a miniature jump ball situation. Now they're deciding to jump it at center court.
Now, if they have another huddle, we'll move it to the next foul line. All right.
And every time there's a change, Wilkins comes right back at Mike Mathis.
Grant can tap it in from the jump at the next foul line.
Here's a great perspective on the jump ball, and they jump it between Grant and Williams. Now they're going to give it to Chicago, and Lenny Wilkins just shakes his head.
Well, he's a little annoyed, you know, at Mike Sanders. See that? You know, he went after that a little bit lackadaisical. If you're not going to grab the basketball with 2 hands, then let the ball go out of bounds.
Jordan posting Ehlo with the double team, passes to Williams. And he's fouled.
Michael Jordan tonight, from the assist standpoint, has been outstanding. At halftime, he had 6 assists and 15 points, and he just keeps carving Cleveland up. Every time he gets double teamed, he makes the correct pass.
Scott Williams at the free throw line. You see Michael has 6 assists to go with his 6 rebounds. A quiet 25 points.
And he's just put other people on the line, which is terrific.
And speaking of the line, Chicago hasn't missed yet. 16 for 16. Back to a 10-point and now an 11-point lead. The Cavs have pulled to within 7. 7:47 to go in this ballgame.
See, Brandon's got to show that he can blow by this pressure in the backcourt and get the offense going.
Nice move by Brandon as he threaded his way down the lane and received the ball from Sanders.
Oh, big turnover here. Sanders disrupted Pippen, put that ball right off of Pippen's foot. Now just watch this pass. They rubbed the man off, and there it is right there. Nice delivery. Now Michael was late getting over there. He should have seen that. He was down in that baseline help situation.
Trying to get it to Brandon off the curl. He couldn't. Now they back it into Williams with a jump hook. A chance to cut it to 7 goes awry, and Pippen comes away with it. 9 rebounds for Scottie Pippen. They clear the side for Jordan. Ehlo sees his life flash in front of his eyes, and Jordan has 27. First points for Michael in the 4th quarter. Timeout, Cleveland. Chicago by 11 with 6:51 remaining. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals from the stadium in Chicago. Tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Pretty much a push as Cleveland has got it inside here in the second half.
Well, they picked up the 6 offensive rebounds right at the end in the last 6 minutes of the first half. And then they continued it in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. They had 10 offensive rebounds in a space of 10 minutes. And then you wonder, well, where were they before that? And see, when you coach and you shoot a low percentage like Cleveland did in the first half, and then you're not on the offensive board and you're not back defensively, well, where are you? You know, you always look at your forwards and hey, listen, where are you guys?
A late arriving. Bulls by 11. 10 to shoot for Cleveland. E.J. Armstrong doing a nice job on Price.
They're not going to allow you to fight through the picks here. And that time we had somewhat of a screen and roll situation, and they tried to, the guards, they tried to fight through at that time and pushed off.
Livingston's first personal. New shot clock for the Cavs.
You get a field goal right now, you're back in business, and maybe something can happen. Oh, that's a quick foul down on the baseline.
On Armstrong.
That's right. See, they're not going to let Armstrong hold Price. That's costly because that's the penalty, and you're putting the man on the line. You know, Mark Price, when you think about it, this year, Lenny had to baby him all year. Reconstruction surgery, you know, amazing, isn't it?
When he misses one, it's amazing.
Because all year he had a baby in 15 minutes. Then he played him 20. Then he played him 25. He only played 28 minutes a game for the season. And now at playoff time, they have, you know, the audacity to play him, you know, right up in there at 36 minutes a game.
Price has only 3 points in the second half, by the way. 8 to shoot for Jordan. Went through 3 players. Nance comes away. Got a loose ball foul on Chicago. It's still a 10-point game with 6:11 to go. It's our Livingston.
It was nice to see Nance hold his ground that time because Cliff Livingston came right over his back. And if you remember back in the days when Cliff Livingston was getting major minutes with Detroit and in Atlanta, he, for the minutes played, was one of the better offensive rebounders in this league.
Coming up right after this one, we'll be going out to Portland, Oregon. Rob Thule and Doug Collins will have it for you. The Jazz and the Blazers. Blazers leading 1-0 in that series. It's the Utah Jazz. Blazers have been playing very well in the playoffs, and most people are still anticipating a rematch or a match of the Portland Trail Blazers and the Chicago Bulls.
This team is leading the playoffs in foul shooting at 84%, and 2 of their best guys just went to the line and blew. It's just one of those nights. Michael really worked hard.
There's the double team. Backs out of it. It's almost stolen, but it bounces into the hands of Cartwright, and Ehlo and Price ran into each other. They are all right, I think.
Wow, wow. Price is jogging very slowly down at this end of the floor. Ehlo and they just crashed. They were hustling. They all hustled so hard, Cartwright ends up with an easy layup.
Like you say, one of those nights. 8 to shoot for Cleveland. Trying to enter it down into Williams. He's held by Pippen.
And Pippen continues to stay behind Williams, and Williams will not allow him to try to get around the front. He keeps backing him in low. But all I know is that Brad Daugherty's on the floor right now. And did he do something wrong? I think he was 10 for 13 at one time. Now just watch the hustle here. Good double team. Price knocks us out. They collide. The ball goes right to Cartwright for a layup.
Now Williams has missed the front end of his 2 free throws.
Think about this. They missed 3 out of 4.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Oh, my.
Cavs shooting 67% from the free throw line. 10 to shoot for the Bulls. Jordan is open for the jumper.
I'm just surprised how easily, out of their offense, when the ball comes back to the top of the circle, whether they run down screens or double screens away, how the guys are wide open.
Nance from Price. It's an 11-point Bulls lead, 4:55 remaining. Off the side of the backboard. Jordan comes away with it. 10 to shoot.
And they're looking at that Phil Jackson off the bench yelling, you know, where's the new 24-second?
He went off the backboard. The ball did. He's going to set it. I think he indicated they're going to reset the clock. Let's see. They reset it. And they're going to tick it down, I think, to 22.
22.
That's what they do.
It's a clear out for Michael. Open floor game here now.
Rebound, Brad Daugherty. Only 6 rebounds tonight for Daugherty. He's been averaging 10.5 a game. Jordan almost picked it off. Gave a little glance to Mark Price. He's going to try that.
They're not waiting for Brad Daugherty to get to that spot. That ball went back over as he is fighting to get to the free area.
A bad lob attempt to Nance, who had an easy layup had the ball gotten to it. Price in the lane, gets the roll and the foul, a 3-point opportunity. It's a 9-point game, and Price could cut it to 8 if he drops the free throw.
Now just watch as he penetrates, how he lifts that leg as he goes up. And you're going to see him lift that lead leg out in front of him. That keeps the defender away so that he will be able to release that shot up over the top of the defensive man. Even that did not go in clean.
And Price, a 90% free throw shooter in the playoffs coming into this game. Shot 947 in the regular season. Second best regular season average in the history of the league. There's the double team on Jordan. Pippen's the open man. That's a 3.
Like a dagger. Pippen even could have dribbled in and taken about a 10-footer.
Now they're working Williams down inside. Pippen with a block.
Coaching staff off the bench over there, contesting that he was definitely fouled.
No question, the Pippen dagger, as Hubie put it, has got the crowd back in this. The clock ticks down to 13, and the Bulls have the 11-point lead and seem to be relaxing a bit.
What a great play. Nice pass.
Fouled by Daugherty.
Only fitting. Right? Only fitting. That just came back. A beautiful move, and Michael once again delivering a great pass. And we're going to show you what happens here on the double team. See, by double teaming, that allows Pippen to be wide open. He could have taken it down in closer. Instead, he has the courage to launch a 3. Now watch, this is what they wanted, over the back right here. You can see he got hit on the elbow that time.
Horace Grant at the free throw line. He's only a 62% shooter, but he's knocking them down tonight. The Bulls are 18 for 18 from the line. Cleveland's missed 7 free throws tonight.
Now we're talking about a team in the playoffs now that they've only been shooting 73%. Now for them, this is rare. But if you're going to make them, this is the night to make them.
Bulls by 13, 3:05 to go.
Keeping everything nice and comfortable for them.
Larry Nance.
Offensive foul.
Actually, the offensive foul is called on Daugherty.
That's right. Lenny Wilkins just sprinted off the bench. Could not believe the call. He thought they possibly had not only the field goal, but also a 1-on-1 situation.
Chicago by 13. There have been 3 key plays in the last 3 minutes. A deflected pass went to Cartwright for an easy layup. Pippen hit the 3-pointer after Cleveland closed to 8. And then Daugherty picked up the offensive foul, nullifying the Nance field goal. This could be a very different score right here, but as it is, the Bulls cruising pretty much with a 13-point lead and 2:59 remaining.
Well, you're seeing the Jordan Pippen, the 56 points. During the course of the year, they led the league as the dynamic duo, scoring 51 points a game.
Horace Grant gets the pass to Jordan.
Pass into the post and run back door. Come on, that looked like magic going into Kareem and running the back door on the left-hand side as Kareem fakes going for the skyhook.
Michael Jordan now continues his string of never scoring less than 30 points against Cleveland. He has 31. Daugherty wrapped up inside, 6 to shoot. Ehlo double team. He stepped out of bounds. Chicago ball.
It's just been a nightmare. Every time they get close, something more. It's bizarre things are happening to this basketball team.
In that offensive matchup tonight between Jordan and Ehlo, it's 31-0. Jordan. Ehlo hasn't scored tonight. Amazing.
Well, really, outside of Price, the other three guards, Kerr, Brandon, and Ehlo, have really come up short.
Right there.
Look at this guy. He has been all over the offensive boards, that Pippen.
Ehlo picks it off. He'll take the three. So Ehlo now has 3. His first points of the game.
They had that coming or going because Daugherty was wide open, running right down the middle of the lane. Either way, they had it.
Chicago's ball with 14 on the shot clock, coming right up after this ball game. We'll be going out to Portland, Oregon for Game 2 in the Western Conference Finals between the Jazz and the Blazers.
Fella in the picture there must get his game going tonight.
The mailman. Equally limited minutes for him in game number 1.
But I think they might have surrendered along the line. Low minutes for everyone.
You got that right.
How come that didn't bank in? I don't understand that, Scottie Pippen. The night you're having, right? That definitely should have gotten in off the glass.
Horace Grant has come up big tonight, too. With his 12 points, he has 10 rebounds, 6 assists. And Pippen has been the man, particularly here in the second half. 29 points for Scottie Pippen. The Bulls break the 100-point barrier.
They're so happy to be away from the Knicks and all of that body contact and that half-court grinding.
101-89, under a minute to go. Double team on Jordan to Pippen. And the Bulls just pull it out and run the clock. They've got this one put away. They're going to take a 1-0 lead in this Eastern Conference Championship Series.
Well, from Cleveland's standpoint, Bob, it's just the little things. They just regroup here, take care of the basketball, get a little tougher. Don't wait until there are only 4 minutes left in the second quarter to show that you're going to establish some physical toughness about yourself.
And the Chicago fans on their feet as Chicago just moves this ball around, runs the clock down to 14 seconds now. Pippen with a block. He's done it all. Jordan is not going to put it in the face of Cleveland. He knows better. Well, maybe he will. On second thought, 103-89. Michael. Must you? 103-89. The Bulls take a 1-0 lead here in the first game of the Eastern Conference Championship Series. We'll be back in just a moment. Chicago Bulls 103-89 to take a 1-0 lead in this series. And the Cleveland Cavaliers didn't appear to be mentally ready to get in this ball game. And Chicago seems so relieved to get away from New York that they just had fun and ran up and down the court. Is that a fair assessment?
I think you're right on the money. What they must do, game 2, is come back and decide that they're going to get on the offensive boards, take care of the basketball, do not allow Chicago to establish a transition game early, and then execute their offense. And they must start going to Daugherty on a more regular basis because he can eat up the centers that are playing him, all 3 guys. He can definitely take to the basket, and that will open up the perimeter shooting, and Cleveland will get much higher percentage shots, Bob. And I expect that to happen in game 2. Very disappointed. Their lack of enthusiasm or zip tonight.
And only could score 89 points in this ball game tonight. Let's go now to our studios in Atlanta and Ernie Johnson Jr.
Thank you very much, Bob Neal, Ernie Johnson. Dick Versace back here. Is this an indication of how this series will go from this point forward?
No, I think Cleveland is going to gather themselves. They were game but not sharp. They stepped on out-of-bounds lines. They threw passes that hit the backboard. And, you know, it was just they were out of sync, and I think Lenny will marshal the forces. I think they're proud to be where they are, and I think they'll give a much better accounting of themselves in Game 2.
Yeah, give them some credit for hanging around because things almost got out of hand at Chicago Stadium. Game 2 of our doubleheader, the Utah Jazz and the Portland Trail Blazers. It's Game 2 of the Western Conference Final. The Blazers lead at 1-0. One of the big differences between this Blazer team and the one that went to the finals 2 years ago, the addition of Danny Ainge. And our Ron Thulin had a chance to talk to Ainge a few minutes ago.
Thank you very much, Ernie Johnson. An important part of any team during the playoffs, the bench. And leading the bench for Portland right now is Danny Ainge. Danny, first question, I think, you started the final 4 games of the year for Clyde Drexler. What did that mean for your game in relation to what's happening in the playoffs?
Well, I think it just gave me a boost of confidence. A lot of times when you're playing on the bench and getting limited minutes, you have a tendency to lose your confidence. And I just didn't think of myself that I was playing that well or anything. And all of a sudden, you know, I got 27 points the last game of the year, and I'm shooting the ball well from the outside. And I think I just regained my confidence.
Well, you're the most experienced as far as playoff are concerned for the Blazers. What does that lend to this ball club?
Well, I think it gives Rick some comfort in that he can put me out there at a few different positions, and I think he just knows what he can expect out of me and in all aspects of the game, not just my shooting.
Now, Danny, we saw the Portland Trail Blazers the last couple of years. This year, I've had a lot of your games. This team seems a lot more focused than they have been in the last 2 years.
I would have to agree with that. I think that we're prepared a little bit better for some reason. I really don't know. I think that this team is just on a mission. You know, we're just playing as well as we can play right now, and I just hope it continues.
Well, so many people talk about how important the first game is, but for a team with a home court advantage, the second game is probably as important or maybe even more so.
Well, I've been involved at both ends of those types of games in playoffs. I remember losing to the Lakers by 35 in L.A. and coming back and winning the series. I remember the Lakers, us blowing out the Lakers in, I think, the 85 championship series, and them coming back and winning the series. So it's a scary thought. You know, this team has a lot of pride, this Utah team, and it'll be interesting to see how they respond. But I got a feeling I know how they're going to respond, and it'll be interesting to see how we respond as well.
Well, Danny, you've had an exceptional series so far. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks.
Now let's go back to our studios in Atlanta with Ernie Johnson.
Thank you very much, Ron Thulin. There you have it. The Jazz and the Blazers, Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals coming up next on TNT. Danny Ainge, what does he mean to that ball club, Dick?
Well, he provides the perimeter shooting that they didn't have the last time they got into the finals. They did have Drazen Petrovic, who turned out to be a pretty good...
Yeah, not bad.
We'll say another country player from another country. But I think that he gives them the experience. He's got a lot of savvy, and he's feeling good about himself, which I think is really important right now.
Blazers up 1-0, trying to make it 2-zip in Game 2 of our doubleheader. Game 1, Chicago, a winner over Cleveland, 103-89. The Bud player of the game comes your way when you take it back to Chicago Stadium right after this.
Once again, the final score, Chicago 103. Cleveland held to 89 points tonight. Tonight's Budweiser player of the game is Scottie Pippen with his 29 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists, only an assist away from a second consecutive triple-double. Michael Jordan had 33 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. Grant had 12 points, 10 rebounds, and the Bulls got back to Chicago Bulls basketball with his victory over Cleveland tonight. Coming up next, the Utah Jazz take on the Portland Trail Blazers. Ron Thulin and Doug Collins have it for you right after this. For Hubie Brown and our entire TNT Sports crew, this is Bob Neal saying good night from Chicago.